excited for a comedy show? But I'm your host. So yeah, make some noise for me. Good to be here in Brooklyn to see all of these wonderful, diverse, white faces. I tried to look around and I finally found one and two, but one is the cameraman and the other one I was like, there's one. Okay, there we go. It's good to be here. Is anyone here from Brooklyn? Good, awesome, cool. Nice, great way to start. Yeah, I'm also not from Brooklyn either. Yeah, I'm visiting. Not really, but I've been here for a while from Los Angeles. Anyone from Los Angeles? Where is everybody from? Where are you guys from? Where are you from?
England.
You're from England? Sorry, I just got back from England. I got excited. Sorry. Where in England?
Essex.
Oh, Essex. I know Essex. I used to work for an OnlyFans girl on Essex, actually. Well, we shouldn't even open that. But I was in London. I do stand-up sometimes overseas. And it's not Essex, but close. Do you like New York more, or do you like England more?
More fun here.
More fun here? Yeah, it is a weird place. Has anyone here been to the UK or England or London or anything? You're raising your hand back there, yeah? Yeah? Strange, right? I don't know. I don't know how you guys felt, but when I went to London, I got stopped by the police right away at the airport, but I didn't know they were the police. You know what I mean? Because in the UK, not all of their cops have guns, which was a different experience for me. You know what I mean? So I walked in, and this guy stopped me. He was like, "Hey, Gavnat." Hit me with that. He's like, "Hey, where you going?" And I didn't see a gun on him, so I looked at him, and I was like, "Nigga, where are you going?" Because let's be honest, everyone. A cop without a gun is a stripper. That's right. Why are you here in the UK? I mean, in New York, sorry.
American dream.
Really? You don't even believe that. You didn't see him when he said it, but he looked directly the opposite way. He's like, American dream. You just moved just to have fun? Yeah. How long ago?
3 years.
Oh, wow, congratulations. Give it for you. Have a visa and everything?
Yes.
You do? Okay, I was like, I'll marry you for a UK visa. We can swap. You know what I mean? All right. No? What do you do? Because he pointed to you. No, her right here. On the bench right here, yeah.
Oh, Kenny was pointing to me, because my job is to direct Kenny.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you guys don't know, they're shooting, obviously, there's a writer's strike going on right now in Hollywood, and we're all trying to make it. So we figured we could do like really cheap stuff, and we would shoot everyone's sets, and then we would become the next great big comedians. And we do it in the time of 3 months. First of all, you guys didn't applaud for our dreams. This shit cost a lot of money. I had to call in a lot of favors. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm a big deal in Hollywood. First of all, let me explain. I come from Los Angeles, right? And out there, everybody wants to be a star. Has anyone ever asked themselves what level of fame they want personally? Yes, you have? What level are you thinking? Nora Jones fame? So like cult hero type fame. Personally, I want bigger. I want like benefit of the doubt fame. You guys know what benefit of the doubt fame means? Basically, it means if I ever get caught masturbating in a movie theater, I just want all my fans to be like, man, well, what movie was it though? And I'm from Los Angeles. I know what kind of movies they like, right? So during the writer's strike, I've been writing a movie. I've been writing first of all, they love slave movies, and they love gay movies. So during the pandemic, I started writing a movie about the first openly gay slave. And slave falls in love with his slave master. And I'm gonna play both parts. The title of my film is called Uncle Tom's Closet. It's gonna come out twice in 1 year. We're getting ready. We're shooting right now. I don't know if anyone wants to be in it. I should explain. I am black. I can say this joke. Should I tell you how I got to England? You guys want to hear that story? Yeah. All right, I'll explain it to you. So England's great. It's a great place to do stand-up. I don't know if anyone's ever been. I actually went traveling a little bit, Spain, England, Paris, all these places. And I learned a lot about myself. A lot. Especially during COVID. I spent COVID with one of my aunts. She's gay, tall, black. Basically, she looks like Snoop Dogg. And during that period, I think we all learned a lot about ourselves, right? So basically, my aunt, she figured out that she wanted to have her first child. But she didn't know any eligible men. So she asked me, her nephew, would I donate my sperm? I know, it was an interesting dilemma. I had to look at my aunt and had to be like, this is fucking incest. And my aunt looked back at me and she was like, well, Alex, we're not gonna have sex. And I was like, well, yeah, not with that attitude. Come on. She offered me $10,000 to be the father of my cousin's son. I, in fact, took that money, and that's actually how I got to London. You guys ready to start a show? I don't know, I feel like you guys are still a little bit tight. Are you guys ready to start a comedy show? All right, everybody, give it up for your first comedian. He's a really funny guy. Give it up for my good friend, James Donlon, everybody.
How we doing? Look at you guys. Very handsome crowd. Have you guys ever noticed that every girl you went to high school with is married to a guy who looks exactly like me? It's a bit unsettling, isn't it? Should post a photo on Facebook, be like, just had the night with Bo, and Bo's in the photo just like, what the hell happened to Bo? Is that a Mountain Dew themed wedding? What the hell's going on down there? You know when you're getting married and the priest is like, you may now kiss the bride. Like he doesn't know her name. We've been hanging out up here for like an hour, buddy. Say, hey, buddy, that's my wife, and her name is Casey Anthony, okay? And she's gonna bite my penis off later. I'm a dumb man. That's what I've realized about myself. I don't know what the OB and OBGYN stands for. I thought it stood for obituary gynecologist. Ma'am, your pussy's horrible, but your father was a great man. I don't know. I think it all started to go wrong for me. I went to high school down in Florida. And when I moved to Florida, I moved to the #1 county in the state for prescription drug overdoses and the #1 county in the state for lightning strikes. Which sounds rough, but I think that's just God cleaning up his messes, honestly. Oh my God, Billy's overdosing. Just put Billy on the roof for like 15 minutes. I think we'll figure that one out. In Florida, it's a dangerous place to be a child, right? I think so. And they always want to tell you stuff about nature. They want to keep you informed so you're safe. But the rules don't always make sense. They'll like tell you a rule, and you'll be like, all right, that makes sense. Then they'll explain the reasoning, and you'll be like, all right, hold on. Like, here's one for you. They'll tell you if an alligator's chasing you, you got to run in a zigzag line to get away from him. You'll be like, all right, that makes sense. But then they'll be like, because they'll think you're mentally disabled and your meat's weird. And you're like, well, I don't... What, did MIT do that study? I don't know about that one. I don't know, guys. The thing I like about Florida is the judges are hot. There's some hot judges in this country. There's an epidemic of sexy law-abiding judges in this country, guys. You guys notice that? Dude, if I walked into the courtroom and the judge was hot, I'd be fucked. They'd be like, how do you plea? I'm like, I don't know. I like your hammer. Do you like roller skating? I don't know, guys. I got some douchey friends, some douchey bros back home. Anyone got douchey friends out there? If you're not, it's you. If it's... That's the way the rule works, unfortunately. Bro, I had a buddy on Instagram the other day. He posted a photo, and the caption was, "My mistakes do not define me." It was just like a photo of his son. Your son defines you, buddy. That one's pretty cut and dry. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Dudes are hard, man. You know when you're at a party, and your bro's texting you, he's like, yo, what's the ratio at that party right now, bro? What's the ratio at that party right now? It's like, if I have to break out an abacus at this party right now, you're gay. That's what that means. I'm sorry. I don't know, guys. Bros are hard. Dudes are hard, man. I got a friend who always cheats on all his girlfriends. He's like, dude, women find me at the worst time in my life. I'm like, women just find me creepy. That's more of my That's my problem. I don't know. Sex is like football, guys. Some of us only played in college. The rest of us get CTE and kill our families in a few years. It's just the birds and the bees. I don't know. It's just how it was taught to me. No, I don't know. I have a girlfriend now. I like my girlfriend. Oh, yeah. I won her at a carnival, so. pretty good with my shot. No, dude, I like having a girlfriend. I'm sick of my douchey friends though making me feel like I sold out because I got a girlfriend. Like, we're not Blink-182, bud. You're unemployed at 30. It's like getting sad. I don't know. I like my girlfriend. We're different. We're not the same, you know? We have that's good in a relationship to be different, right? Like, she's skinny and I'm standing right in front of you. She's also a witch. My girlfriend's a witch. She's like a light witch, like a soft witch, like a sandwich is kind of her witch level. It's more her magic speed. I don't know. Basically what she does is she sets intentions. And if you don't know what setting intentions is, that's lighting candles and just thinking about stuff that you want. It's like, if that's being a witch, I'm a witch every year on my birthday, bro. That's birthday magic right there. I don't know, man. We're having a good time tonight. Getting warm. Getting a little toasty. A little hot. It's going to be a good show, though. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. All right. What else do we want to talk about today? Guys. You guys just look great. I just can't believe you guys all came out here. I'm like flipping out about it a little bit. It's pretty fun. No, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I like my girlfriend. Girlfriends are cool. I like when they go on little hunger strikes when they don't get what they want. Like, if I can't have Chipotle, I guess I won't eat. It's like, all right, Gandhi, take it. Let's take a lap here. This is... I don't know. Hunger strikes are interesting. The hunger strike is interesting. It complexes me. Like, how effective of a political protest can it be to just slowly assassinate yourself? It seems a little hard. It'd be like if Martin Luther King was like, today we're going to protest racism by putting glass in our shoes. Like, we got to march, Marty, come on! The only way a hunger strike could work, in my opinion, is I think if the president was like, what do the protesters want? Let me see a picture of them. Ah, they're sexy, give them whatever they want! Those skinny, sexy people. I don't know, guys. We employed in here? We got jobs? Hell yeah. That's how you got up to the roof. That's right. I don't know. I don't like my job too much. Not too much of a fan of it. It's better than my last job. My last job, I was a stock boy at a grocery store, and I quit my job in like a new way. I'd never quit a job before. I was like getting real emotional. I was like going in really early in the morning, crying, listening to Drops of Jupiter, just flicking off the building. That was my vibe. But here's what I did. I walked into work one day, I clocked in, and I just went home. I'm still a stock clerk right now, guys. This is groceries. I don't know. Then I had to find a new job, so I went on Indeed. Anyone ever been on Indeed? Indeed is a website that does not work. Does not do its intended purpose at all. I went on Indeed, I put in all my qualifications. I'm like, all right, serving jobs in New York City. And Indeed's like, do you want to be a rat that lives under Chili's? I'm good, actually. I don't know. Then I went on LinkedIn. LinkedIn might be even worse. Oh my God. I went on LinkedIn and someone I went to college with had written, remember, LinkedIn is not a dating site. Guys, who's using LinkedIn as a dating site? What would that even look like? Hello, Samantha. I see you worked at Outback in 2014. I'm hoping to blow out your back this weekend. I don't know, guys. I'm going to do a character for you, and then I'm going to get out of here, okay? You guys ready? Yeah! There's a character called Detective Jizz. So I want you to picture a crime scene, okay? And Detective Jizz, he shows up on a motorcycle in his leather jacket with jizz and rhinestones on the back. He's a real cool character. The detective that's already there doing the initial investigation. It's like, oh my God, Detective Jizz, we're so glad you're here. The criminal just left the victim on the floor, and the only evidence we have is the killer's semen all over the wall. Detective Jizz, you know, he's a real professional. He walks right in, he goes, male. I've been James. Have a great night, everyone.
Keep it going for James, everyone. He just pretended to taste semen for you. No one saw that coming. All right, give it up for your next comedian. She's a very funny lady. Give it up for Shannon Keye, everyone.
What's up? Thank you. I've been seeing a lot of couples going on hikes together. It's like a popular couple activity is hiking. And what I've noticed is that a lot of guys will propose to their girlfriends on these hikes. Not propose. A lot of guys will murder their girlfriends on these hikes. I'm always mixing that up. Engaged, murdered. Like, your life is over either way, okay? You're also, like, you're never going to see a black couple hiking together. That's not, like, you're not going to see that. You'll see interracial couples, like, all the time. But you're never going to see a black couple. Because you can convince one black person to go on a hike, but you cannot convince two, okay? That's, like, not for us. A lot of black folks are not super accepting of interracial relationships, more so when, like, black men and white women date. There's this whole idea of, like, they're stealing our men. And I don't see the issue with it. Like, I don't think there's a problem. You see interracial relationships all the time, especially with athletes, right? A lot of athletes, black athletes will date white women. So to me, it's just, like, not that big of a deal. Because, like, okay, yeah, sure, you have this successful football player who's dating a white woman, but he beats her. So she's taking the blow for me, you know? It's like, thank you, Karen. Thank you, okay? All Karens aren't bad. ACAB, right? Oh, my God. We should, like, give them a Purple Heart or something. I don't know. Something nice. I've been living in New York ever since I moved here. It's a true story. Yeah. You can always tell which cop wanted to be a DJ. Yeah. By the way you hear the siren go in the street, you know? Like, you'll hear the normal ones, and then every now and then one goes by, it's just like, whoop, 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 whoop. You're like, wait, that kind of goes. Hang on. I feel like being a cop was the backup plan here. It's all right. Growing up, one of my friends growing up was an altar boy, and he was actually fired. It's possible. He was fired from being an altar boy because of the way he was holding the Bible. He wasn't holding it right, and the priest, like, didn't like it, so he fired him. He would, like, kind of, like, rest it on his forearms, which is, like, not how you're supposed to hold the Bible. The priest was like, no. Yeah, you're not supposed to hold the Bible like this. You're supposed to hold the Bible like this. Yeah. You can't neglect the Bible. He would always say that. Yeah. No, when a priest ejaculates on Sunday, it's called a mass shooting. Okay? Yeah. I started calling them shootings en masse, actually. Kind of like when we went from Target to Target, I wanted to sort of give them their branding. No, I think it's crazy, like, how okay this country is with, like, children dying by mass shootings, right? Like, I thought once that happened, we'd finally get some sort of, like, gun control or some sort of response to this tragedy, but, like, nothing's happened. And in the past, there's been, like, other tragedies and an immediate response, right? Like, I don't know, just like when 9/11 happened, we started a war. I don't give a shit about buildings. Like, okay, some buildings fell down. When I fall down, I get back up. That's all I'm saying. Okay, and, like, the guys that do the mass shootings, these, like, white guys, they never get called terrorists ever because they're white. People are just like, they're a troubled soul. They're like, no, he's not a terrorist, because that's how they sound. He has mental illness. It's like as if terrorists don't have mental illness. I just don't think Al-Qaeda's journaling, okay? Like, I don't know, like OBL Osama bin Laden. Yeah. OBL like didn't like go to therapy then do 9/11, right? Like that doesn't make, I don't know. What do I know? I've never been in a relationship, and I want to know what it's like. So I started banging this guy who's in one. Yeah. Ethically. Don't worry, you guys. It's locally sourced, grass-fed, gluten-free cheating. Okay, it's good. Yeah, it's called ethical non-monogamy, which is just gentrified cheating, right? That's all that is. But it's like all the like young cool kids are doing it. They're like, cheating is a spectrum, okay? How dare you assume my infidelity? Like, okay. No, I actually did. I was seeing this guy, but I stopped seeing him because he was a stupid man. Yeah, thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. Yeah, no, the last date he took me on, we went to go play basketball. I was like, this isn't what I meant when I said I wanted to hang out with you one-on-one. Okay? Also, like, his dick was too big. Hot take, I don't like that. I'm not a fan. I don't know if it's just me, but I think, like, when a guy's dick is too big, it's like when a restaurant has too many items on the menu. Okay? Like, at first, like, the thought of it, you're like, this is gonna be so good. Like, I'm so excited. I'm totally gonna be satisfied after this. And then you, like, get there, and you're like, oh, wait, this is too much. I'm so overwhelmed. You can't possibly expect me to fit all of this in my mouth, okay? I will throw up. Like, have you guys been to the Cheesecake Factory? That's a bad place. It's just not, it's not good. I'm 26 and it's fine. It's fine. It's not good, but it's fine. I'm in the latter half of my 20s, and I have to, like, think about, you know, like, what kind of woman I'm gonna be, right? Like, am I gonna be, like, an agreeable wife or, like, an agreeable mistress? Like, what is my path? I don't know. And it just, like, I have this identity crisis, like, every day, and it just makes me miss being in my, like, early 20s. Like, being 23, I miss being 23. That's such a good age, you know what I mean? It's like when you're 20, like, I miss being 23 because when you're 23, that's just, like, all that you are. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. You don't even have hobbies or interests yet. If you ask a 23-year-old, if you're like, what do you like to do for fun? They're like, I'm 23. It's like, oh, what do you do for work? I'm 23. It's like, oh, okay, sorry. Well, what was your name again? And that's so sweet, and I miss that. All right, you guys, I'm gonna do a little poll of the room here before I leave. Do you guys eat cereal? You guys, okay, so do you know, like, right before you go in to, like, the first bite of cereal, you'll, like, tap around on the flakes? Do we know this phenomenon? Yeah. It's like when a guy rubs his dick on your vagina before he sticks it in. Every time a guy does that, I'm like, do you eat cereal? Oh my God, that's me. I'm Shannon. Thank you so much.
Keep it going for Shannon Keye, everybody. Your next comedian, he's also, looks like he's 23. Give it up for the very funny Paddy Defino, everyone. Keep it going.
Alex Payne, everybody. Guys, I don't know if you saw this in the news, but Shakira is going to jail for tax evasion. Have you seen that? My question is, if they wanted the truth about her taxes, why wouldn't they just ask her hips? Anyway, I'm 28 years old. I have a lot of problems with my body. I went to the doctor recently, and I have this disease called chronic venal insufficiency, which basically means all the blood runs into my legs and then it stays there. And I went to the doctor, and he said, I need to wear thigh-high stockings every day for the rest of my life. He basically said, you could be more beautiful day to day, I think. Thigh-high. Do you know what that means? I can never have sex with someone new again. Thank God I have a girlfriend, so the stockings got, grandmothered in. But I can't introduce a new lover into my life with thigh-high black stockings. How would I do that? Like, she walks into a room, I take my pants off, she's like, Jesus Christ. Like, no, it's cool, they're medicinal. Totally fine. Thigh-high black stock. Dude, I need to wear a shirt for continuity, like, when I have sex, Do you know how crazy my penis looks when I have sex? Just my white little penis and black stockings. It's insane. I look tactical, okay? I look like I'm sponsored by Under Armour to prematurely ejaculate. I look like SEAL Team 6, really. Well, SEAL Team 5.5. Let's not kid ourselves there. Thigh high, God, it's not sexy at all. No, my girlfriend doesn't find me sexy. She doesn't. I'm not good at sex. I think it's because when I come, I go, gee, thanks, lady, and that's not a cool thing. Either that or hot soup. I always do one of the two. I gotta do one. She also says I walk gay. Did anyone notice that? Did anyone see that? I don't know what that means. I think it means one of two things, okay? I think it either means I walk like, ooh, is that some cock over there? Which is the first one. And I hope to God it's that, because it's either that or it's good Lord, that was a lot of cock over there. Okay, I'm not good at sex. I'll be the first one to admit it, and about 7 women will be the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. I'm not. I think it's because I have body dysmorphia. Do you guys know what that is? If you don't know what it is, body dysmorphia is when you look in the mirror and you see Ruth Bader Ginsburg looking back. Like, oh, justice! I have it bad. This is how bad I have it. All right, one time a friend of mine sent me a picture of Steve Buscemi eating a meatball sub. And it took me 5 minutes to realize it was a picture of me parasailing. I think that's just mental illness. That's what they call it, right? Guys, I'm going to be honest. I enjoy mental illness. I like it. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. You know who are the most fun people in the world? Mentally ill people. You don't want someone being like, ooh, what's the weather? Like, no. I want my aunt walking up to me in a Whole Foods, pulling me in for a hug and being like, I have a loaded weapon. I'm going to use it. No, not... Dude, my aunt is bipolar. She's a fucking riot. It's awesome. She put a cigarette out on a baby. Do you know how cool... You know how cool of an aunt that just made you? It wasn't even an ugly baby. It was a beautiful baby that now has a goofy lip. My mom feels bad for her, too. My mom feels really bad for my bipolar aunt. She's always saying stuff. My mom's always like, I just wish you... By the way, this is my impression of my mom, okay? I can't do her voice, but I nail her tits. She's like, I just wish she was happy. I'm like, Mom, put your tits away. Jesus Christ. She's bipolar. Give it 20 minutes. It'll come around. It's right after brooding sadness and fleeting excitement or something like that. I don't know. I like mental illness a little bit, I also don't mind physical ailments. I think they make you interesting. Like, I saw a guy the other day who had no arms. Regular arms, -2. None. No arms. Not an arm to be found. And his sleeves were tied up. Like someone tied his sleeves for him. So he was walking around and they're just drifting behind him like Naruto. He's just walking around. Ooh. No sleeves. And he was homeless too. Because you can't have no arms and a home. How do you get in? And I felt bad. I wanted to give him money, but like, what am I gonna feed it to him? You know? And he was sneezing violently. That was the worst part. But also like courteously, like he kept like tucking it in, like his nub. He'd be like, oh. I'm like, dude, you don't need to be courteous. The world was not courteous to you, okay? Let it fly. Poor guy, no arms and allergies. I was like, if I was God, I'm giving him the biggest cock in all the land. You, sir, get the biggest cock that you'll never be able to put a condom on. I was watching Harry Potter recently because I have a low libido, and I noticed Harry, you know, that guy had no confidence at all. You know, think about it. For the boy who killed the toughest wizard as a baby with his forehead, you would think he would have, like, a little bit more confidence, you know? Like, I wish I could have been there for him to help him out, just to, like, boost his ego a little bit. Just like, ooh, I don't know if we can beat Hufflepuff in the Quidditch match. Hey, Harry, you have the Nimbus 2000. Hufflepuff's out there with Swiffer wet jets trying to figure it out. You're rich, dude. You'll be fine, okay? Lean forward. How about that? Lean forward. You ever notice that? He's like, oh, man, down by 100 points. Better speed up. I would have been in the crowd from, like, the first second being like, lean, Harry, lean! No! I'm wearing a scarf! How do we get past the Whomping Willow? You mean the tree with autism? I don't know, Harry, jingle some keys? Give him back his iPad? Blow on him. Did you try blowing on him? Everybody knows. Boy who lived. Draco Malfoy's ruining my life. I know. Let's turn his shoes into English muffins. Hey, Harry, shoot him with a gun. Last time I checked, gun beats magic every time. Why is Hogwarts the only school... Okay, you know what? Hey, you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. Give it up for Alex.
I don't think any of us thought we were going to hear that much strong opinions on Harry Potter, right? We were like, wow, that's really getting deep there, right? One more time for Paddy, everybody. We've only got 2 comedians left, so you guys good? You guys hanging in there? You guys a little flat now. You guys hanging in there? All right, this next comedian, she only goes by one name because that's how much of a star she is. Give it up for a very funny comedian, everyone. Chika!
How are we feeling? I love being in Brooklyn. I love performing in Brooklyn. I also live in Brooklyn. I know probably a lot of you guys do. Yeah. I'm not from Brooklyn, although like kind of like Gwen Stefani Japan way, I decided to identify as being from Brooklyn. Yeah, just like Gwen, I love the culture here, you know? And I have the credentials, you know. I'm so Brooklyn that I was unemployed for 2 years. Yeah, I just called it freelancing. I'm so Brooklyn that half the guys I've had sex with went to the same Jewish summer camp. So, yeah, that's not true. They went to different Jewish summer camps, of course. I'm so Brooklyn that I'm non-monogamous. Yeah, not to be confused with polyamorous. Because as a non-monogamous person, I just feel like I don't think I'll have sex with just one person for the rest of my life. And if you're polyamorous, you think the same thing, but you refer to people as your lovers, which is humiliating. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, join me in my community of lovers. And it's like, I can't get a guy to text me back. I'm not building community by any means. No, I am non-monogamous. I usually don't have the attention span to date more than one guy at a time, though. That's why I like to refer to my pussy as operating under squatters' rights. Yeah, it's like, whoever gets there first can just occupy the space, you know? That is until I begin to take legal action. No, it is hard for me to date more than one guy at a time, though. That's why if I want to date a new guy, I actually have to take the old one out into the woods and shoot him in between the eyes, Old Yeller style. Yeah, it's very, I don't love you anymore, but I do. I ultimately still do. I did touch on this. Someone once said they had a fetish for Jewish guys, which is crazy, because I can't tell when guys are Jewish, you know? The only way I can tell if a guy's Jewish is if I want to have sex with him. He's almost always Jewish. I do not know how I do it. My ex once said that he thinks that black people and Jewish people both share an experience of trauma. In hindsight, I realized he was talking about the trauma he was going to inflict on me, but I see his point from a historical perspective. Actually, with that ex, I learned that sexually, I'll try anything 3 times. That's how it goes, right? 3 times. The first is just to try it. The second to see if I really like it. And the third is because I didn't want him to leave me. And I would have done anything. You guys want to hear the worst thing that's ever been said to me in a sexual context? Okay. This actually happened shortly after sex. I was getting up to get the guy a paper towel for cleanup because we were at my place, one of the finest for my guest. And so I walk across the room, I grab the paper towel, and I give it to him. And he was obviously staring at me the entire time because he says to me and my naked body, "You actually have a nice shape." Yeah. So let's review together how fucked up that sentence is, okay? First things first, actually. Actually makes it sound like he was having some sort of internal dialogue about my body that I did not need to be privy to, you know? Like, he's like, on one hand, she does have a nice, juicy ass. But on the other hand, maybe it's too nice and too juicy. That's all he could be thinking. The other thing wrong with that sentence, you actually have a nice shape, is shape. Why shape? When I hear shape, I think of that Saturday morning commercial that's like, who's that Pokemon with the outline and everything? That's a shape, okay? This is a body. No, I actually think it was a language barrier because he was British and they say the darndest things. You know? He once said to me, because I did continue to see him for a few months, he once said to me after I was like, maybe I'd start a podcast one day, but I don't know, I kind of think my voice is annoying. He said, I don't think your voice is annoying, but I could see why other people would think that. That man was a professional hater. Yeah, and the thing he hated most was my self-esteem. He would do this thing where, like, during sex, he wouldn't give a lot of positive affirmation, but then afterwards, he'd be like, oh, like, it was really hot when you did this, or sexy when you did that. It's kind of like if one of my jokes were to bomb and one of you came up to me afterwards and was like, oh, that joke was really funny. It's like, well, why didn't you laugh when I was on stage? This is when I need you. This is when I'm vulnerable, you know? I don't need the post-game analysis. Someone called me a cunt the other day. Yeah, and I was like, that word does not affect me. I'm not a white woman. Yeah, I don't know what it is with white women and the word cunt. I think it's because you don't have any other slurs of your own. I've got a couple. So, no, calling me a cunt is like when the bad guy tries to shoot Superman with a regular gun and the bullets just bounce off his body, you know? So you're gonna need something a lot more powerful for this girl. I'm a girl's girl. That's really important to me. So I feel like I'm always talking to women about sex, right? And I'm always hearing from women that like straight sex is bad or it's disappointing. To that I say, you need to start having gay or straight sex. Yeah, I fuck guys who fuck guys because I'm an ally. And the results have been astounding. I just feel like as a man, if you haven't sucked at least one dick, we're not gonna be a match, you know? And the other thing is like, I don't have bad sex, you know? Because it's like, how could the sex be bad? I'm there. No, I'm the same person who does all of my Zoom calls in gallery mode, you know, so I can just stare at myself. I'm like, look at me listening. I'm being such a good listener right now. That's why I'm doing sex. I'm like, I'm doing a really good job right now. But I wasn't always like this. Champions are made, not born. So I want to share with you a very intimate story. This is the story of the first time I ever gave head. I was in college. I was 18 years old. And the guy was just some random guy off of Tinder. And I do have to say, 10 minutes prior to me giving head for the first time, I had my first kiss. Yeah. And you might be like, oh, look, it was a crazy college night. It was 2 p.m. Yeah, it happened during business hours. I scheduled my first hookup like it was a doctor's appointment. And so I'm doing my thing, and I'm trying to be sexy, and I'm like, do you like it? And he's like, sure. And I said, rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. And he said, 6. 6 on a blowjob is crazy. 6 on a blowjob is the literal definition of it's better than nothing, And mind you, I was sucking his dick when he said that, My jaw dropped like a cartoon character. My jaw dropped and his dick fell out of it. And that was my villain origin story. Yeah, I went back to the lab that day. I was like, give me this dick to suck. This is never happening to me again. And now I stand before you proud to say that more than one man has told me I'm the best head he's ever got. And so, I'm going to break for applause on that. Yeah. And that's when I realized that it wasn't my villain origin story in so much as it was a hero's journey, Because rather than a sword and a stone, I had some other tests, Some real trials and tribulations, if you know what I'm talking about. And that's why when people ask me, they're like, what's the secret? What's the secret to good head? I always say, good head is about the friends you make along the way. As a single woman dating, I kind of feel like incels have some points. Anybody else? No. Incels and I, we have a very similar sense of entitlement. It just manifests in different ways, right? So an incel will be like, why would you go on a date with me if you weren't going to put out? And I'm like, why would you be the little spoon if you weren't going to be my boyfriend? Sounds like you're a fucking tease. Yeah, you're a cock tease. Instead of cock, it's commitment and intimacy. Yeah, and you did hear that correctly. I am a black woman. I do use the word cock. We exist. Representation matters. If you guys don't know, cock is a white people thing. Cock is absolutely a white people thing. But I'm a writer. I like to vary my word choice. There's only so many times I can be like, oh, you have a great dick or whatever. It's not fair that only white people get to be like, I love your cock. You got a great cock. I don't know. It has good mouthfeel. I don't know. Speaking of cock, it's irrational how defensive I am of uncircumcised penises. I think it's because there's no reason to do it. Medically, there's no reason to do it. I asked this guy once, I was like, why would you circumcise your future child? And he said, well, I want my kid's penis to look like mine. That's like that scene from High School Musical where Troy Bolton's dad was like, but son, playing basketball was always your dream. And Troy's like, no, dad, it was your dream. Except with foreskin. That's crazy. Get off your kid's dick, man. I'm a power lifter. I've been doing that for a few years. I really love it. Yeah, clap for strong women. Yeah. No, I really love it. The only major drawback is that I like fucking really skinny guys. I like my guys bird-chested, I like my guys so skinny that if I knock on your sternum, I hear an echo, And it's really hard to fuck a guy when you're unequivocally stronger than him. I don't know if any of you guys have been held down and choked by a guy you could bench. Just doesn't hit the same. I feel like I'm humoring a child, And I'm like, oh, what a big boy. Oh, you're so strong. All right, that's my time, guys. Thank you so much.
Keep it going for Chika, everyone. You guys ready for your last comedian of the night? All right, this guy is one of the producers of the show. He's very funny. Make sure you pay very special close attention. Give it up for my good friend, Aditya Mayya, everyone.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Good? Yeah. Thank you all for coming, everybody. Let me introduce myself. My name is Aditya. I was named after my grandfather. But interesting fact about myself is that before I was born, my mom, she wanted to name me Neil, which sometimes people laugh at, and it always offends me. Because they always go, oh, you do look like a Neil. And I'm like, that's not a compliment. Sorry, I should ask beforehand. Is there any Neils in the audience tonight? No, because it's 9 o'clock. It's way past their bedtime. So my mom wanted to name me Neil. But before I was born, my dad was going through what's called an ethnic reawakening, which for those who don't know is like being a born-again Christian, but with more spices. And he was like, no, I gotta have this name. So I have my name, which I don't have any complaints about. But a few years later, my mom was pregnant again with my brother. And at this point, my dad didn't care anymore. So my mom named my brother Joshua after the 1987 U2 album, The Joshua Tree. Yeah, and before anyone says, well, Joshua Tree, it's a park and also in the Bible, like, I know all that, but my mom didn't. She just thought it was a good album. So there's a universe where if she was listening to anything else in her CD collection, I'd be like, yeah, this is my brother ABBA's greatest hits. I don't know, it's a family name. And so now, whenever my brother and I do anything together, it's as Aditya and Josh. And no one believes us. Everyone either thinks we're lying about our names or lying about being brothers. Like, I had a teacher in middle school once say to me, so are you guys like brothers or like brothers? And I'm like, I don't think either of us ought to do that. Mrs. Kazarinsky. Aditya and Josh. Doesn't it kind of sound like if Disney Channel was trying a bit too hard to be diverse? So Aditya and Josh, his storyline's about getting a Red Bull sponsorship. Mine's about having to use a different name at Starbucks. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. I get into weird stuff like that. Like, I've been getting into conspiracy theories. I don't believe in any of them, don't worry. But I just really like watching videos of out-of-breath men yelling at me. I don't know, it's relaxing. I have to say, I've gone down the rabbit hole of every conspiracy theory there is, and I think that the craziest ones are conspiracy theories about Jewish people, because they all make me want to be Jewish more than anything actually true about Jewish people. Every video, it's like some red-faced dude going, the Jews run the media, they control our banks, they rule the world. And I'm always like, that's a pretty good deal, actually. That is an upgrade over my situation. I would love to control interest rates and also the weather. That sounds awesome. What's the downside? Like, oh, if you convert, you gotta be kosher. I would give up pork if I got to be part of my own Legion of Doom. It sounds like a super fair trade-off. But I don't know, I'm not Jewish. And sometimes I'm reminded of that. I was upstate a couple weeks ago, and I was walking across a really busy intersection, and there was a guy behind me on a bicycle. And as he moved around me, he said these words very loudly. He said, "Excuse me, you long depressed Indian," which, yeah, unnecessary, kind of racist, but also not inaccurate. Like, it was surprisingly spot on for a complete stranger. Like, long and depressed, that's just true. I didn't feel offended when he said that. I felt seen. Like, yeah, I'm a Slenderman that needs a hug. Thank you for noticing. An Indian is the correct race I am, so it's hard to get mad at that. Although I will say this. I think it's only okay to refer to someone by the country that they're from if you do it at the appropriate volume. Like, if you're yelling it, it's obviously bad. But if the reverse is bad too, if you're like, oh, that guy, he's an Indian. Why is it a secret? What are we doing here? I think the only acceptable way to do it is in an indoor voice. If you're like, oh, hey, Indian? And you're like, yeah, sure. Are you asking me where I'm from or what I'd like for dinner? Either way, let's do it. People have a way of saying things to me that sometimes just stick in my head. Like, I was getting my hair cut a while back, and the woman, she was not paying attention. She was cutting my hair. And by the way, maybe some people can identify with this, but no matter how well a haircut goes, I'm going to be insecure about it for at least 3 weeks. Like, emotionally, I'm about as vulnerable as a forest creature that has just given birth. It's not going to go well. But this was already bad because she wasn't paying attention. She was talking on the phone. And then at one point, she just stopped. And she put the phone down. She just looked and surveyed what she had done. And she said to me, do you live in the city? And I was like, yeah, I live in New York. And she was like, oh, I live in Jersey. It's really fun out there. It's really cool. It's nice. It's actually better than New York. And I'm like, okay, how bad is this haircut? It sounds like you're trying to get me to leave the state. Another time, I was on a date, and I mentioned that I was from Toronto. And she was like, oh, you're from Toronto? And I was like, yeah. And she said, oh, where else? And I was like, just there. And she was like, oh, because you seem like someone who moved around a lot as a kid. I was like, wow, I didn't realize this was going that poorly. That to you, in your head, you were just like, the only way I can explain any of this is if he never had a place to call home. But that's just me. Turns out for the past 20 years, I've been culturally appropriating children of divorce. Moving on to something completely different. I've been thinking about getting a dog recently. I've been thinking about getting an excuse not to kill myself. That's the more honest way of putting that. I told a friend of mine that I was going to get a dog, and he said to me, dude, you should get a pit bull. And I was like, look at me one more time and say that. I don't want a pit bull. I'm sorry. I don't want a pit bull because I don't want to feel body shamed by my pet. Like, they're all jacked, you know? That's not what I want in a companion. I want a lump of meat that sits on the couch and forgets how to breathe. That's a real best friend. I really wanted a dog when I was a kid, because I think all stories that are meant for children have something to do with animals. But then you like grow up and you realize how strange all of them are. Like, I was thinking about the tortoise and the hare. We all know the story, the tortoise and the hare, right? It's a very weird one. The story is there's a tortoise and there's a hare, and the hare is fast, and he challenges the tortoise to a race. And then the hare gets off to a head start, goes to sleep, and then the tortoise wins the race when he falls asleep. And we're all told that the moral of that story is slow and steady wins the race. And you're like, no, it's not. The moral of that story is don't fall asleep in the middle of an athletic event. The hare was winning comfortably due to his speed, and then just got overconfident and like zonked out. Like, he didn't lose because he wasn't consistently slow enough. He lost because he had poor nap time management. And it'd be one thing if it was like a good lesson for kids, but it's not even that. Slow and steady does not win the race. Races are won by quicker and, frankly, more physically attractive woodland creatures who have sex constantly. Like, it's a matter of public record how much sex rabbits have. And the hare's supposed to be like the Usain Bolt of rabbits, so you know he's pulling mad bunny trim, right? Can you even blame him for being overconfident? He was super fast and got laid all the time. If I had even one of those things, I'd immediately start wearing capes and suing anyone who made eye contact with me. And, like, I get it, like, you know, story for kids, you want a happy ending. But I think there was a way to do that while still being honest. Like, why couldn't the ending have been, and so the hare won the race, but due to differences in animal biology, the tortoise outlived the hare by about 150 years and took the opportunity to take a shit on the hare's grave every day for the rest of his life. Kind of made the loss of 1 foot race seem pretty insignificant, didn't it? And ultimately, I think that is a much better lesson for kids. Is that in life, no matter who you are, you're going to meet at least one person who's better looking than you, has way more friends, and is generally just much more successful. And there is nothing you can do about that. But if you keep your head down and take care of yourself, you can live long enough to one day laughing react to every heartbroken Facebook post their mom makes after they OD when they're 25. And if that isn't a happy ending, I don't know what is. Thank you guys, you've been incredible.
Aditya Mayya, everyone. Wow. We learned a lot about each other today, didn't we? We learned about Harry Potter. We learned about jaw-dropping cock. We learned about so much to recount. But that's it. That's the whole entire show. Round of applause for all the comedians you guys have seen.
That's a cool camera, dude.
Yeah,
Where'd you get it? A vintage pornography set?
Yeah.
Pussy.
Yeah, you like that? I thought it was fun. It was such a good show.
This is the after party. The best place on earth to be right now. Other than maybe a Trump rally, but this is pretty good.
What else? What do we have at the after party, guys? Can you tell us some of the stuff we have?
Drinks, Miller Sway,
Yeah.
Even for a sober guy like me.
God and the clouds and the open sky. What did you think of the show?
It was awesome. I loved it. I liked the part where you made me laugh. That was good.